All right. Well, the little lady thought that we never came this on the extended Baldwin Hill Loop, 6.1 mile, because she didn't recognize much of anything past the last trail marker. And I think I'm tending to agree with her and admit that she was right.
Wow.
Now,
So glad that's on.
hear that? Oh, she really pipes up when she hears those words. She was right. I don't think grasshoppers are that colorful. Konza started with, well, I suppose, a little less than 1,000 acres, and then at some point they bought a big chunk of prairie, almost 8,000 acres. So right now it's almost 9,000 acres that is home to, what did I say, a couple hundred buffalo. So we're not sure, we've never seen buffalo, but we're always here in the fall, which leads me to believe that they're either pinned up for the winter or they're in some part of the pasture that's way north of here or way west of here. I want to give you a little glimpse of the descent and how pretty the day turned out. And we want to report the little lady has now been right twice within a matter of minutes, as we have determined that the things that are hopping up and flying away are grasshoppers. She determined that, and I had to agree. She was right again. Is that what you said?
Can't hear you. Yes. Whatever you say, I'm sure I said.
Okay. So there's the trail we descended last time. And that was the middle loop, 4.6 miles, I guess. But it has really turned out to be very nice. So we just put the drone up, got some panoramic view of the area. Tried to zoom in on the farm, see if there was any buffalo in the pens. Don't know that we're ever going to know. But something we did hear not see. So we heard the big boom from Fort Riley howitzers. I don't know if they're 120 millimeters, 60. It could be their tanks too, but Fort Riley is home to the Big Red 1 Division of the Army. I guess it's somewhat famous, but it's a large base and they have a huge area for exercises, their tanks, guns, etc. But it reminds me that the football game this Saturday is Fort Riley Day. Last Saturday was homecoming, or 2 Saturdays ago. Last Saturday they played and lost in Texas. Anyway, this coming Saturday they play Baylor, and it's Fort Riley Day, and we should see some. I'm guessing that we're going to see helicopter flyovers. The base, Fort Riley, has a lot of helicopters, so we'll see. What's the little lady guess?
Motorcycle. A tank.
A tank.
Drive a tank in.
Ah, I don't think so. It sure looked like an eagle to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving away. You can see their underside when they turn. They definitely, to my eye, they're not buzzard-like. But seeing these eagles, or what we think are eagles, it reminded the little lady and I about our favorite eagle cam.
It's the only eagle cam.
Well, no, there's many, but
Okay.
the one in Florida, the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam, or Dick Pritchett, he's a realtor and it's on his property. They've had Eagle Cam for probably the last decade or more. And we remember following it, and Harriet was the female, and I forget who the male was, but
M something.
it wasn't M15. M15 was the last.
That was M14.
Yeah. Anyway, he disappeared or expired, and Harriet found a new mate, and that mate was named M15. I think maybe it was for male 2015. Anyway, so Harriet has been hatching eaglets for, I don't know, I'm guessing a decade, a long time. And they've had their ups and downs. I remember one year she lost the one eaglet, and she came back and had laid a couple late ones, and they turned out fine. So anyway, the latest is this past January or February, Harriet went missing, and they kept an eye out for a better part of a month or two, and finally determined that something had happened. Old age, or some kind of accident, injury. But M15 had they had 2 eaglets that had hatched, and M15 was, he had to raise the 2 on his own. That means he had to go out and get food and fish, whatever, for himself and the 2 growing eaglets. So they weren't sure that he was going to be able to do it, but he came through M15 did his duty. So it turns out this late summer, early fall, M15 came back with a new sweetheart. And I'm not sure what they've named her. I think once they figure out that she's going to stick around and put up with him, they'll name her. But to make a long story shorter, seeing these eagles reminded me to, at some point, check up on the eagle can to see if M15 and his new bride have hatched any eaglets, or if they're on any one or two eggs are on the nest. Well, this is getting closer to the end. There's a very good depiction of the limestone layer that's following the contour of the hills. And remember, I said the Flint Hills is a combination of limestone and shale. So this is what a lightning strike will do to a tree. Usually you just see the lightning bolt that comes down from one of the trunks down to the ground. This one got the whole tree. The little lady, what were you looking forward to?
Not me. You're the one that just has to have some kind of giant hamburger.
Ah,
just because you read about it.
Not just a hamburger.
What's it called?
A Vista burger.
Oh, there's a special name for this one.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, don't forget dessert.
That's right. Homemade brownies. Martha's original recipe brownies from her kitchen. But the story of Vista Drive-In is interesting because every time we go out that highway, I point out to Jeannie that Vista Drive-In burger place has been there since the 60s, since I was here. And it's amazing that it's basically the same as what I remember. We decided to look it up and look at the history, and it turns out very unique. Charles and Martha Streeter, back in 1964, came up with the idea and opened the what is called the Vista Drive-In. And I think, from what I can see, it's the same original building, never been altered, and they have been successful since 1964. They are a Manhattan icon when it comes to homemade burgers and other delicious menu items. So back to the Streeter family and the restaurant. They passed it down to their sons and daughter-in-law, and the family still runs it.